Good evening. My name is Hannah Sherman. Standing before you like this, you might not guess that I have an anxiety disorder. Yet it's true. In fact, I do. Because of this, standing here is not easy. However, I am determined. I am as determined to give this speech as I was to get my GED. Having this anxiety disorder, I have been told many times for many years that there were things I could not do. One of them was that I'd never graduate. And for many years, I believed it. Going to a traditional high school was difficult for someone with an anxiety disorder. With an average of 35 students to a class, and what to me felt like 35 million crammed in the halls between classes, combined with running from one class to another, carrying a 22-pound backpack that I weighed with the advice of my chiropractor, and just overall feeling like I was different or didn't belong when I was in class. Things like that didn't exactly bring my anxiety levels down, but I wanted so much to graduate that I did whatever I could for as long as I could to make it happen. I did try to succeed in high school. I didn't want special treatment. I wanted and needed a little understanding. I had a meeting with all of my core teachers to establish a 504 plan. I brought medication to take at school, and I tried to be the best student I could be. Unfortunately, things did not work out as planned. For me, it was a question of attendance, not ability or test scores. I simply couldn't cope with the stress that can accompany a traditional school setting. Most teachers were great and followed my 504 plan without fail. Some didn't, and it was the attitude of those that didn't follow the plan, who didn't know how to support me, that I listened to the most, which led me to believe in myself the least. After struggling for some time, one of my teachers, one I was close to and trusted, told me that because of my anxiety, if I didn't do online school, I would never graduate. Again, believing what I was told, I enrolled. Unfortunately, there is no doubt that many students find online school wonderful. But the program I went through had a feature where the teacher could be in the assignment you were working on at the same time you were working. It was the equivalent of a teacher looking over your shoulder while you write and correcting as you go. It just didn't work for me. And given what I've been told, well, I was truly devastated. I believed what my teacher had told me, that now I would never graduate. Yet, there was still a part of me that didn't believe completely. So I started homeschooling, teaching myself with Khan Academy. However, I found that I needed direction. Imagine having tremendous anxiety, but needing direction that caused tremendous anxiety. It was at this time I decided to try for my GED. Deciding to try to get my GED was not an easy decision in the slightest. I wish I could remember who at Thurston said, "GED? That's harder than a diploma." But this time, maybe for the first time, I decided not to listen. Getting my GED was the last chance I had to complete my high school education, and I was going to do it no matter what. I was going to do it even though it meant giving up all hope of normal milestones that come with high school. Assemblies, homecoming, prom, and I thought a graduation ceremony. Who knew? Starting yet another program where I didn't know anyone, didn't know what would be expected, and wasn't even sure if I'd be able to cope with the stress was hard to do. But I kept thinking of one of my favorite songs by Mary Lambert. It's called Secrets, and it's about not hiding your insecurities, for they can sometimes be our strengths. I knew that things were going to be different the first evening I entered the GED program. I walked into an organized but casual atmosphere and was greeted by the warm smiles and friendly attitude of Linda and Katie. Given my difficulty with anxiety, it took me a while for me to settle in. But not long, as this program offered me everything I needed. I was able to work independently, at my own pace, but had all the help I could use. I wasn't going to have to do it alone, and that was all I ever really needed. There was never any question in either Linda or Katie's mind that I would succeed, and they would have no talk of anything less for me. The lessons preparing for the tests aren't easy. Trying to put 4 years of high school into 4 tests takes about as much dedication as you can imagine and more. But being helped along in a way that makes learning this much material not only tolerable, but occasionally fun, is a great formula for success. Within a week of being in the program, I knew that my anxiety no longer controlled my life. Sure, it will always be there, but now I had something I hadn't had for a very long time. I had used to not being able to adjust, missing out on something or being left behind. But now I was leading the pack with regard to getting ready for my tests and passing them with scores that truly impressed my teachers. I had found hope, succeeded in spite of the doubts of others, and once again felt an enormous pride in myself. The GED program has changed my life. It really has. Ever since I can remember, I wanted to be a veterinarian. I mean, this was set in stone. I've changed my mind about that now. I want to be a teacher. More specifically, I want to be the kind of teacher Linda and Katie are. I want to be the kind of teacher that kids need. The kind of teacher who doesn't just hear you, but really listens. The kind of teacher who gives second and even third chances. The teacher that kids remember as the one that cared. I'm eternally grateful to the GED program, not just for the kind, calm, and steady preparation and encouragement given from Linda and Katie, but for giving me a chance to do what I had thought a lost breed, walking and tapping down with my class in front of all of you. So thank you to Linda and Katie and the GED program for a chance to prove to myself and others that with determination, dedication, and belief in myself, I can accomplish any goal I set. I'd also like to thank my family. Not everyone is lucky enough to have one that's so supportive, and I'm extremely grateful for mine. In closing, I'd like to say a few words to my fellow graduates. First of all, congratulations. You are here because you earned it. You are here because you worked hard and believed in yourself. Take from this accomplishment what you learned from Linda and Katie. Never give up. And if you're ever tempted to lose faith in yourself, remember the faith that Linda and Katie had in you, and never give in to the temptation of doubting not only your ability to chase, but to catch your dreams. If we can do this, we can do anything. Thank you.